Why math? Once pressured for long enough, students will ask why they need trigonometry if they will never use it. For a student to think that math is useless is to have already been tricked and convinced that they are not smart enough. Math is taught so wrong that children often ask, why do I even need this? Smartphone aside, in their madness, teachers respond that, you won't always have a calculator. Often cunningly, many teachers will attempt to dominate a class by pretending to have a short fuse, or by actually having one, out of disrespect. They will be taking the shortest paths possible. They just want to get paid, put some food on the table, and move on. They know their material does not benefit students, not in the way it should. It only benefits the tests at the end, the finals. The content that finals attempt to test is an unintegrated mess. It is basically garbage. Students in their sanity know that it is safer to memorize, and what they memorize is certain to be on the test, unlike the things that they would like to focus on and explore further. If they tried to learn the mix of concepts for real, then they would fail the finals. The class is not about teaching. It is just about passing the tests. Now, a lot of students know this very well. That is why many just don't care about school or grades. In a world of fake teachers, liars, pretenders, bullies, and fake education constantly grading the student down, alcohol and fighting and hating and anger, revenge and blind stupidity almost start to make sense somehow. Once parents start punishing the so-called bad students, parents become part of the system that is seemingly attacking them. One horrible thing about grades, other than the fact that they are unethical, toxic, and pretty much insane, is that once a person starts getting C's, they will keep getting C's from all the other incompetent teachers. The teachers base their grades on all the grades in all the other classes. So if you are a C student in all the other classes, but do really well in your favorite one, you're probably not going to get straight A's. To do mathematics justice, start with simple programming tutorials and move on to a more freehand language. Then design and create screensavers, including 3D screensavers and pixel art, at least at first. Screensavers are not an outdated invention. All the sci-fi screens in movies are basically screensavers. Unlike mind-numbing textbook examples, computer games and graphics create a context, a reason for learning math. Games and graphics are flexible enough to capture curiosity of all students, so as long as they explore what actually calls to them. The reason schools are broken is that there is no pressure to fix them. When there is no pressure, things usually just decay and get worse. There's plenty of pressure to increase the GPA, but nobody cares that mathematics is learned in a screensaver class. Nobody cares to think about it because it is not their problem. Institutions will not check schools based on screensaver abilities. There is a top-down division of subjects, and that is what keeps schools in business. Over time, everything has gravitated towards memorization, which is acting, in a way, pretending to know. Multiplication table and order of operations is not an argument for memorization. Be it order of operations or trigonometric functions, this needs to be understood. Forcing memorization of SOHCAHTOA is not real education, and it is harmful and crazy. The students need to understand it for real, and in a real setting of a computer game or screensaver or graphics in general. Being tricked into memorization and graduation without ever using trigonometry is fraud. There is no excuse for it. The wrong division of subjects that eliminates real-world applications in favor of abstract garbage, the forcing students into memorization by tricking them into thinking that they're the ones that made the choice not to understand, the fraud of grades, manipulating them to stay under the radar, to keep the teaching job, to keep school funded, parents punishing children for not behaving properly in a madhouse in a meat processing plant that cheats them out of real knowledge for the purpose of small paychecks. That is quite a gamble to make. As far as the future of humankind, the students that are failing fake education are not the dunces here. I'm sorry. And make no mistake, silence of principals, teachers, and parents is the same as participation. All parties involved are guilty of fraud. All students are extremely intelligent. The only thing that can stop them from the mastery of technologies that call to them are parents and teachers. It is a wonder that the students are listening at all. The betrayal of younger generations that results in debt and awful jobs and career choices that will have extremely negative impact on their mental health is evil. I don't even know the word for what happens to the children that the military recruiter manages to lie to, in great part because they learned nothing in school. Real education is not that difficult, and it makes a world of difference. If education worked correctly, the graduates would co-found startups together as part of a real graduation ceremony. Rather than school debt, they would start by inventing new things that they could be proud of. Let us not gamble with the future of humankind. Let us guide the children to real knowledge, life-changing wisdom, and the resulting greatness